Hi there, Paul again from SkillsTX. I'm going to take you through a presentation this time that's going to be focused on worker and leader collaboration. So I'm going to come at this from the point of view of a worker initially, and then we'll look at that collaboration and how it works with leadership. So I'm logged in here as a different user. I'm logged in as Joe D this time. And one of the options that I've got is I can see who my leaders are. So I can see that Raphael is related to me as line manager, and that relationship was created back in March. Okay. If I look at my skill profile, a couple of things I'm just going to point out here. I'm going to scroll down, I'm going to look at these versions, and I can see that back in September my profile was approved. I've since made an edit, so I'm now on version 4, and I'm now going to request approval. So this is going to set off a dialogue with Raphael. So I'm just going to click on request and just put a note in. Okay, so that's going to be sent through to Raphael. He's going to get notification that Jody has requested approval. So we're going to dive across now and have a look at this from the point of view of Raphael. Okay, so first thing to point out, and this is going to trigger Raphael to have a look. So got an email that's come through here with details of where the request came from, a link to go and do the approval, etc., etc. So quite a lot of information relating to the person that's requested. So that's going to prompt the login. So let's go and have a look at that. So I've logged in here as Raphael. If I look at my people, I'm going to see Jody, and I'm going to see the request. So there we go, Jody, and neither July requested approval. So let's go and have a look at Jody. So first thing I can do is just immediately just have a look at the skills. I might know Jody well enough to know what I'm expecting to see. I've got the big banner here saying that the approval was requested, and I've got the opportunity to postpone with a reason. The other thing that is highly likely that Raphael will want to do though is that immediate question: what has changed from the last time I did the approval? So let's go and have a look at that. So I've come into my team analytics as Raphael, and I'm going to look at skill changes. So it's Jody that's requested, and I'm going to answer that question. So let's have a look at Jody. There she is. I'm going to look at the last one I approved, and I'm going to look at the version that she has now. So I've got a visual representation side by side of what's changed, and more importantly down at the bottom here it's actually giving me a description. So it's telling me that benefits management at level 6 knowledge was added. You can see it's over here compared to here, and portfolio and program support competence updated. So Jody has gone from proficiency to competence. And chances are it's what I was expecting. Done some training, done more practice, so now I've got the ability to jump back to Jody and do that approval. I'm just going to show you something else though that just keeps the dialogue going, so we're going to go one step beyond that. So I'm going to go and have a look at Jody again. Obviously we've already looked at the skill changes, but I'm just going to have a look at her profile here, and I can see here we've got a couple of pretty high level generic attributes. Have a look at what they are, and it's like, well, I don't think Jody really has that level of influence, so I'm going to postpone with a reason. And the reason is going to be I want to revise the skills. So there we go. If I could spell correctly, sorry about that. Generic attributes. So there we go. I'm going to fire that off. So in this case I've not approved, I've actually just requested a bit more information and a change. So let's have a look at what that's done. Okay, so here's the email from Raphael. You can see big subject line, approval has been postponed, and down here we've got the comments. So I think you should downgrade your generic attributes. So let's just go and do that really quickly, and then we'll finish this off. Okay, so I got that message from Raphael. I'm now logged in as Jody again. Asked to downgrade. can check out the details here so I can see it from where I am. I'm now going to click edit profile and I'm just going to downgrade these as requested, so I'll save that. Okay, so that's going to update and then I'm going to re-request. Okay, so the postponement status has disappeared. I've now got request approval again, and we'll just make a quick note to say that I've made those changes. So basically asynchronous. This could be done face to face, logging in together of course, but you know, larger teams, maybe in a distributed environment, we can do it this way. Okay, so request has gone in again, some changes have been made. Let's go and finish this off over with the leadership perspective. Okay, so I'm logged in as Raphael again. Got Jodie here, can see that request has reappeared. Same date of course. I'm just going to go and check that she did what I expected. So I'm going to go in Team Analytics, we're going to look at changes, we're going to look at Jodie, and we're going to compare her last with her current and see if what I asked was actually done. So look at last one version 4, current one version 5. Okay, influence was added at level 5 and it was removed at 6 and added at 5 and removed at 6. So you can see side by side it's gone from 6 to 5, exactly what I expected. Back to my people, very happy with what Jodie's done, so we're going to go here and we're now going to approve. Send a message back to Jodie and now you can see we've now got approved. If Jodie makes any changes, that will remove the approval of course, because it's approved at the state that it's at right now, but this is going to be flagged right across the system as Jodie has got an approved profile by Raphael on the 9th of July. When I look at my people, I'm going to see a green tick to say that it's now an approved. There we go. And an email has gone back to Jodie to let him know that that has been approved. So a great way of making sure first of all that the data is accurate, collaboration between leadership and workers with a common language around skills, the ability to really quickly check what's changed. So once you get into a cadence with this, it really is a few minutes, if not seconds, where somebody makes a request, I check what's changed, I agree with it, normally I'd approve it, and we move on. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense and highlights how useful skills can be as a collaboration reference point.